Good evening, everybody. This is Tonetta. Welcome back to my channel, Tonetta Clay. And of course, I'm giving you my truth sense about the end of life care at this present time. I actually work at a home health agency, and I've been to a lot of trainings with the Gateway End of Life Coalition. And they talk a lot, of course, about the end of life, hospice, palliative care, and all those kind of things. So I wanted to start bringing this to you doing this social service series so I can let you know kind of what I'm doing, what kind of education I have, and what kind of resources and services are out there for those who are dealing with, or actually everybody, because everybody at some point is going to be dealing with the end of life situation or experience, whether it's with your parents, your children, your family, your friend, someone. So I wanted to start bringing this information to you all so you can kind of know what to expect, even though every situation will be different. We know that, but like I said, I want to bring this to you just so you can have an idea kind of where things will possibly go and how things will possibly look. And this is the book that I'll be working out of. I'm going to show you the front of it. It's called The End of Life, Helping with Comfort and Care. I don't know if you all can see that. I'm trying to scoot back some. But it's actually, I got this book. I actually ordered a lot of different materials at work actually so that I can start providing this information to my clients and that I can start reading, of course, and like I said, providing to my clients, making sure that I'm educated about what's going on in this line of work and in this field of home health care, comfort care, end of life, like I said, those kind of things as well. And so I wanted to make sure that I knew what was going on and that I'm able to provide not just my clients, but the community, no matter where you are in this world, with some type of education and support when it comes to comfort care with our loved ones, our families, and our friends. And this book is actually, it's not my book, of course, I did not create this, but it's actually created by the National Institute on Aging with the U.S. Department of Health and Senior Services. So I am going to be reading, I'm going to try to read page for page for you all in different sections of the series I'll be doing in the social services series. So I'll go ahead and get started with the first and the introduction. For the first one, of course, there is a quote in here actually. It says, "Empty-handed I enter the world, barefoot I leave it. I'm coming, my going, two simple happenings that got tangled." And it's by Kozan Ikeyoko, I believe it's the name. And it says it's dated about 1360, so that was a long time ago. But it still, of course, relates to our lives now. And, of course, I'm sure for after we pass, all of us expire as well. And the introduction. I'll try to look at this, well, center myself as much as possible so I can look at the camera and the book as well. So I won't not pay attention to you all. But it says introduction. At the end of life, each story is different. And I know I did just say that, so just keep in mind that each story is different and this entire book may not fit every single situation. But just keep in mind that it can help you, of course, along the way, given that information. Death comes suddenly, or a person lingers, gradually fading. For some older people, the body weakens while the mind stays alert. Others remain physically strong, but cognitive losses take a huge toll. Although everyone dies, each loss is personally felt by those close to the one who has died. And that's definitely the truth. Everybody, of course, in this world, even myself, at some point will die. And of course, death is, of course, like this last sentence said, each loss is personally felt by those close to the one who has died. And that means, of course, to meet the grieving process. And hopefully, I think later on in the book, it will get into the grieving process. And if not, I will do a video on the grieving process on my own, actually. Because I do know the process. I've been through it several times. And I didn't even mention, I know I mentioned that I worked at a home health care agency, but I'm actually the social worker at the agency. And like I said, the classes and the workshops that I go to center around end of life and other things in the field. And I've been a social worker for 20 years, actually, as of this past May. So I want, like I said, I want to make sure I brought this education to you all so you can just know that I'm just not coming out of the woodworks with this information, but that you can know that I do have background and experience in dealing with these types of issues, personally and professionally. End-of-life care is the term used to describe the support in medical care given during the time surrounding death. Such care does not happen only in the moments before breathing ceases and the heart stops beating. Older people often live with one or more chronic illnesses and need a lot of care for days, weeks, and even months before death. And we know that, of course, this is more geared towards seniors, health and senior services. But we know that, of course, there are some who, of course, get in bad car accidents or have bad situations that come about and expire on that way, and not just in the old age. People of all ages, of course, expire, even infants. So, like I said, we have to keep that in mind. And I know this is going to speak a lot about seniors, but just keep in mind it's geared towards anyone, no matter the situation, or just about no matter the situation. I guess how the death occurred. I guess I'd say that. The goal of End of Life, Helping with Comfort Care, which is the name of this book, is to provide guidance and help in understanding the unfamiliar territory of death. This information is based on research, such as that supported by the National Institute of Aging, and that's who created this manual, along with other parts of the National Institute of Health. It also includes suggestions from healthcare providers with expertise in helping individuals and families through this difficult time. Most of the stories included are examples of common experiences at end of life. When a doctor says something like, "I am afraid the news is not good. There are no other treatments for us to try. I'm sorry." It may close the door to the possibility of a cure, but it does not end the need for medical support, nor does it end the involvement with families and friends. There are many ways to provide care for an older person who is dying. Such care often involves a team. If you're reading this, then you may be a part of such a team. And I, of course, am a social worker, so I am, of course, on one of those teams. End of Life, Helping with Comfort Care, provides an overview of issues faced by people caring for someone nearing the end of life. The information provided here does not replace the personal and specific advice of doctors or other experts, but it can help you make sense of what is happening and give you a framework for making care decisions. Of course, it says a sampling of resources related to end-of-life care are provided if you're looking for more information. And I'll read that information as I go through the chapters, because every chapter has a little bit of different information to, like whether it's dealing with Alzheimer's or dementia or hospice or palliative care, they all give different resources. So, like I said, I will definitely read that information as I go along. And just keep in mind that may be different for the state that you live in. They may go by different names or that kind of thing, but just keep in mind that if you're looking at this and you're worried about end-of-life care, trying to figure out what's going to happen with your mom, your dad, your aunt, your family member, your cousin, that kind of thing, or your friend, like I said, there are all kind of resources out there that you can, of course, look up online. If you just put the information that I'll give you in there and do just a general search for your area. Like I said, a lot of these services are in every area, and I believe a lot of these countries as well. Like I said, they may not go by the same name, but they will, of course, be similar services. So just keep that in mind. And I want to thank you for viewing the first introduction part of this series, or I guess of this continued series, this social service series. And like I said, with these particular videos talking about the end of life, and just to give you a little bit of background as well, because I did not even say that. Not just my expertise and all those kind of things, put that aside, but I'm talking about as far as my experiences in dealing with people, my family, my parents, friends that I've known, that kind of thing, family dealing with, of course, end of life, dying, and the death and end of life procedures are our experience, I guess I can say. And like I said, I've had many of these experiences throughout my life, and a lot of the situations that I was in, I wish that I would have had a manual like this back when I was in my teens and 20s and 30s and things like that to, of course, guide me along in this process. What's going to happen at the end of life? How do you care for somebody at the end of life? What kind of services are out there, like I mentioned before, like hospice, like palliative care? If I need to find out whether I can be the power of attorney for somebody, how can I do that so I can, of course, take over their finances and their household and make sure everything is in order when they're expiring. What kind of services are out there for a person who wants to create wills and things like that. Like I said, I'm going to talk about all those things as I go through this book and this manual that they provided for us, or for the world, I guess I can say, or for those in the U.S., because I'm actually not sure. Okay, it's for the U.S. But like I said, the National Institute of Aging put this together for us to, of course, have this kind of information so we can all reference back to. And like I said in the beginning, and like they said in this introduction, that we know that Every single person's situation is different, but with the tools and with the information that's included in this manual, you will, of course, have some sense of peace to know what's going on and how to take care of your family member or your friend or your loved one at the end of life. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get off here. And like I said, I hope you come back for the remaining parts of this series. There's more than just the end of life. I'm going to have other videos as well. But like I said, this is a particular series that I'm on right now as far as the end of life care, because I see a lot of people, not just myself, but I see a lot of people, of course, on social media, whether that's on my, well, a lot of it is on my Facebook, because I see those, like the stories and different things that's going on. But I do, of course, see it on Instagram, rest in peace to so-and-so, grandmother passed, that kind of thing. And like I said, there's a lot of people out there who need this kind of information. So, of course, please feel free to share this information with your tribes, your families, and your friends. I do not mind. I also hope that you do, of course, put comments in the bottom so I can, of course, I guess, communicate with you all. So I can know who's watching the video, so I can know what kind of experiences you've had dealing with end of life, and just in case you can, of course, help somebody else. Like I said, leave your comments down below what kind of things you went through, what kind of experiences you may have had, if you're able to talk about that at this time. And like I said, with dealing with those things, you may, of course, spark a light bulb in somebody else's head. I guess who's looking at this video, who may be looking at the comments and reading the comments and those kind of things. But keep in mind, like I said, everybody's situation is different. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get off of here, and I will catch you all in the next video. And like I said before, please do share, like, share, and comment as much as you want is fine with this video. And with this, you all, take care.